And greetings. I'm here. Okay. All right. This is like the intro is done on this bike, and now we're actually going to do some work. So it's an incredibly warm, unseasonable day here in the mountains of North Carolina, and so yeah, we're going to do some work. We got lots of work. In fact, I had more parts than I thought, and a gentleman's going to send me, a subscriber is going to send me some shifters, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. That's something I really need to even get this thing to shift and all that stuff. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to put the fork in. It's right here. And we're going to decide on one of these two really poor derailleurs. I think I'm pretty much stuck with this one for the top. Pretty sure it came with this sprint style. I looked in the catalog. But this one has bearings in the little wheels, which is cool. We're not going to put that on today, maybe just mock it up. But it's either one of these two. I'm kind of going towards the original style. And then we have to pick some of these. They go back here. They go on here. It goes there. And the cable goes from, the shifter. And there's a housing here. And then this is open cable. And then it goes to that. And then there's housing to that, to the derailleur. But we're not getting that far this day. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're going to put the fork in. We're going to decide on these derailleurs. And there's one thing that bugs me. There's a car video guy I watch now and then called Mortsky Repair. If you're into old cars, you should look him up. Anyway, one of his pet peeves is he can't stand when he goes and buys a junker car that's been in a river somewhere or something. He's got to have it roll. And I'm on that same page. As you can see, this shop, there's a lot of other stuff going on around here besides bikes. There's the whole frame department over there. We make frames for my wife's artwork. I do some welding. I make wooden tables with metal bases. I do some machining. There's a lathe over here. And, the space here is very, very limited, and it's very much a luxury to have even 4 or 5 bikes up here under some plastic. This space, this tiny bit of space right here is a luxury. So the bike has to come off the stand, and it has to be a roller, and it has to have a kickstand. I'm sorry. It has to go over there under this plastic. Or guess what? The whole shop, I can't have this in the middle here. It's too much. Anyway, it's all too much. So yeah, it has to have a kickstand. And I did some research, and the internet has spoken with their little charts and diagrams, and they said that I need a 355 chain kickstand. And we have 4 355s to choose from. This one, it says 355 on it right here. And I've got 4 to choose from, and we'll run down them. This one's not bad. It's, seen some better days. This one's got the original gunmetal stuff on it, and that's a 355. That's not bad. This one is a different number. It's an 8321. But it's the same as a 355. It's very, very close. And it might be off by just a fraction, maybe a 1/4 inch difference. So this one might be, in a pinch, you could probably use an 8321. Actually, the 8321 is a little shorter. So if you were running larger tires, like off-road tires or something, you might be able to get an 8321 in there and make it work, but we're not. And then the 4th option, which is the one we'll probably go for, is this nice chrome one, which is not marked. That wasn't they're not always marked. Sometimes, most of the times they are, But some of the chrome ones aren't marked, and we're going with this one. It's the exact same one as a 355. It's really, really close. And it's got some wear on it, unfortunately. That one's been around the block a few times. But we're going to throw this 355 in. Let's throw it in real quick, and then we'll go down to the forks. Let's just put this in real quick because we got stuff to do. And it looks like I tied the little pin on there. I've got a whole bag of these pins, but it looks like I did the right thing and put the pin in this little blue tape situation here. Yeah, there's the pin. Not bad. All right, so let's put some grease on this and shove it in real quick and just go from there. There is a special tool, and hopefully I can find it. Here it is. This is the special tool. You don't have to have this tool, but boy, it sure does make life easy. Anyway, this looks pretty good. What happens is this little pin wears in here, and you can always tell. Right when you put it in, you'll know. I have some replacement ones right here, but right when you put it in the frame, you'll know. Like, oh, there's a lot of wear there. It's barely holding on. This one's in good shape, not brand new. But that pin wears, and this wears a little. So always put some grease on this. You'll know right when you put it in. Even before you put it in, you'll know if this part is good. So let's put some grease on this. And let's get you over here first, because we got stuff to do. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? Okay. Like, we'll know right away whether this is going to work. Like, put it in without grease or anything, and you can tell, oh, there's notches there. It's doing the right thing. That's where it's going to be. This is where it's going to stay up. And there's notches. That's down. That's up. There is some wear on that. Maybe we should pop that out and take a look at it. Let's pop it out and take a look at it. Yeah. Here, use a punch. Okay. Yeah, there's a little mark how it goes. I forget which way it goes, but yeah, that looks pretty worn actually. Let's put that other one in I had. Yeah, let's put this one in. This one's not really marked. We'll just have to guess. If you can't figure out which way it's marked, there are marks. But this one is aftermarket, I think. If you can't figure out which way it goes, just dry fit it and you'll know. Like, oh, that's wrong. That's right. That's such a cheap one. That thing's a piece of junk. Right, let's look in the bag here. Oh, okay. All right, I found a better one. I think this one's actually Schwinn because you can see the marks there. All right, let's pop that one in. Guy's taking an hour to put a kickstand in. Okay, so that's good. Okay, and then it pops up. All right, so we know that's good, how that is. We know that those marks are there. I thought they went down, but I don't think they do. Okay. Pretty sure that's the way. All right, let's put some grease on this and we'll pop it in. We'll get the pin ready. All right. Alright, got a little grease on there. That's where we want it. With this tool like this. You guys with me? Crunch that a little bit. Get the pin ready, okay? Get the pin ready. I got the pin ready. There's this little flat part on the pin. It's kind of like a weird rivet. Anyway, there's a little flat part. Like a D. The flat part goes to the inside because this gets pressured in. So you want the flat part of the rivet to go to the inside because the pressure is forcing, the spring is forcing that out. I can't do this with it moving on the stand. Oh, I need that camera assistant. Okay. Put the flat part there. Okay. Right. So we got it in. Wasn't that easy? Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so before we go any further, we're going to put this back wheel on and just check to make sure this bend is correct. This is unmarked. And it looks like a 355. But we don't know. This kickstand does not have a mark on it. It does not have the factory mark. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, that's good. Usually when they're really worn, when that inner part's worn, like you go to put the kickstand down and there's just this huge amount of play and the bike falls over. So, all right, let's pop this on real quick. Like, we don't have a derailleur on here. We don't have the wheel washers. This is just a little check to make sure that the wheel is going to be okay on these spokes with this kickstand. This is not the final assembly. This tire is junk. This rim's questionable. But it looks like there's going to be room. It's not great. It's close. But I believe the 355 style kickstand is correct and the book is correct. Well, the research I did is correct. This is the wrong tire. This is the 27 by 1 1/8. This is just a tire so I can take it off the stand and use the kickstand. Okay, don't go all hog wild on me. These are junk rims and junk tires. This is just to make it a roller. As I said before, I can't be having junk on the stand for days and days and days. There's other things happening in this shop. Okay, rant over. All right, let's put the forks in real quick. And we might as well put some grease on it while it's up here like this. Yep, might as well use gravity as our friend. Look at that clean cup. It's all clean. Nice red grease in there. All right, gravity is your friend. All right, let's pop it down this way. Now we know we got grease in there. You just saw me put grease in there. And we'll put some grease in this upper cone. And upper cone, I mean this little special one that wicks water off. I love these. These are awesome. Now, I checked on this bike. It does have side pulls originally. And without getting a different fork, there's no room for a center pull. And I'll show you how. I'll show you why. Okay, here's the bearing. There's the upper cone adjuster. The balls go up into it. Okay. Spread some of that good stuff in there, that loving stuff. And, you know, just check it on here first. How's that feel? That feels great. Got grease on the threads. Okay, we're ready to just shove the fork and spin it in. I don't usually put any grease on here because there's plenty in there. And when the first time you shove it in and move it around, the grease will happen. Okay, you guys here? Okay, in we go. I turned it back. I turned this back until it clicked. Don't just start hog wiling it on it, you know, just be nice and easy. If it doesn't go, turn it backwards until it clicks. You'll hear the thread click up where it's supposed to chase onto. Oh yeah, it feels good. And we'll wipe that extra grease right on the inside there. That's where we need that. Okay, let's wipe this off a little. So I checked on the chart, and part number 57-355 is the kickstand for this, and it fits most 20-inch, 27-inch bikes, 20-inch frame. The larger frames, I'll show you what they take. They take these devils here, these big suckers, and this is that's a 382. That's probably for a really, really tall frame. It looks like, oh, that's another 382. It seems like I have a whole bunch of 382s, which is probably for some really tall frame. I think it's even taller than that frame. I'd have to check, but for some reason I got a bunch. And then the Stingrays are usually like these. The Stingrays are usually 357s, and here's another weird one, 346. So that's a different bend. See the difference? The difference is this is probably a boy's bike, and this might be a smaller girl's bike. You can see the bend is there's a difference there, and there's a difference in the length. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. If you're in question and yours is really rusty or damaged, just sand off. Well, if you're just sand off around here. I mean, if it's really rusty, who cares, right? Just sand that off and take a good look. And some aren't marked, so there you go. Okay, forks are in, and I'll give you a quick update on why you can't really use center pull brakes on this bike. There's no room. Okay, let's just pretend we're gonna convert to center pull. Okay, we got that. Okay. Oh yeah, they really messed you up on this year. I forgot to tell you about that. Oh, there's no way we're gonna use this fork on center pull. I forgot to tell you about this. Scwhinn, they changed where the notch was. You see how that notch is off a little bit to the side? Man, I remember about this. I've been through this before. So this bike, the notch is straight up from the brake hole to there. So this fork, yeah, remember this. This fork, actually, you could use center pull brakes, see? Because that's straight in line with the brake, just about. And on this bike, they put the little notch off to the side. See? I remember trying to do a conversion once before, and I had to really come up with some genius stuff. Anyway, so here's the washer with the little notch. We did run it on this file a little bit. I remember telling you guys to always kind of run it on there a little bit. Make sure there's no burrs. Now that does ruin the coating, but you clear coat it then if you're concerned. Okay, so we'll put this on. And that's nice, how we want it. But what I was trying to say is, with that washer, let's just say that notch was in the right place. So we put that on with the washer. And then guess what? We don't have enough threads. That's not enough threads. That's not safe. That's not enough. That's only, see how there's space in there? That's not enough threads. That's not safe. So even if this notch was correct and this center pull was in the right place to use center pulls, that's not enough. And you need that washer. You have to have that washer. It actually goes underneath there. But you have to have that washer to make this stay where it's supposed to go. It's necessary. Anyway, so that means this thing has 2 strikes against it for being center pull. And in the catalog, it's side pull anyway. I'm just telling you guys, if you want to convert to center pull, always make sure the notch is in the back right here. Okay, if it's off to the side, you're going to have to come up with something real special. I've done it before and it sucked, but anyway, let's put this on. So yeah, you need this washer. And it doesn't matter that the notch is off to the side here. Okay, let's keep going here. That's enough grease on there. So that's enough. See, that's enough. That's a good 6 or 7, 8, maybe even 8 threads. I'm going to go backwards until it clicks. There we go. Hold my knee up there. Okay, we're just going to let that ride. We're not going to put the final tighten on that yet. Let's move on. We have to put this cable housing holder in. Okay. And here is an interesting fact. In a pinch, when you don't have this and this special Scwhinn bolt that seems to be a weird thread, when you don't have that, say you didn't have this part and you couldn't find this bolt, which I just dropped. Hey, I'm here. Say you didn't have that Scwhinn bolt, and say you didn't have this, which I have plenty of them. Just say you didn't have that. Okay, you found a Diacomp brake and you took that off. This is the adjuster that fits in a side pull brake. Guess what? It's the same thread. Pretty close to it. Put some grease on it, you could put it in there. It's pretty much the same thread. It's close. Then you could take your little barrel adjuster and put that in. You might have to put a nut on the back side. You know, you thread that all the way in, you'd keep going. And you'd put some Loctite and a nut on the back side. And then you put your barrel adjuster in. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. You could go from the paddle shifter, wire, cable housing, bare wire to this. Actually, this would be turned this way. That's right. The bare wire would go from here to here, and then there'd be a cable housing down to the derailleur. So you don't need this. It's nice if you have the right stuff, and I have it. But you don't need to have it. This is the same thread. You can pop that in there and put a lock nut on the back with a really thin one. You don't want to mess with the, well actually this is a 6, it should be a 5. But if this was a 5, it wouldn't interfere. But right now it definitely is going to interfere. That's the wrong sprocket. I'm not going to use that. Definitely not. It's too tight. Look how tight that is. The chain will be rubbing all over the place. Okay, so yeah, you don't have to have that, but we're going to do it right. You know I am. Just thought I'd tell you just in case. Hey, get off me, fool. Just in case you didn't have those pieces. All right, let's put some grease on this, and then we'll put it in. Okay, got a little dab of grease on this bolt. This machine screw. Usually these are a bit longer. If the bike has a chain guard and 5 speeds, it's a little longer one because it has to go through the chain guard and this cable housing holder. All right, let's pop this on. Yeah. Okay, so that's on. Yep, that's on there. And the fork is in. All right, let's put the front wheel on real quick, and the handlebars, that just shop bars, and we'll put it on the ground and make sure that it's actually going to be a roller, because we kind of need our shop back. Okay, and worse. All right, I didn't put any grease in there. I don't care. There's just a little. These are not the bars I'm using. Everybody, just take a chill pill. These are just some shop bars I'm throwing in there to roll the bike around with, okay? All right. Everybody good? Okay. A, the stem doesn't fit very well, and B, it's the wrong stem. And I could keep going and keep going. In fact, it doesn't even look like it's going to tighten up. Yeah, we're going to have to get some different bars. Okay, these didn't even work. These are stamped. I think these are stamped 77. Yeah, okay. We're going to put these bars in, which are even goofier. I think these are stamped 74 or something. They're from a green, very tall varsity that I converted to 1-speed freewheel and then promptly sold. And the person who bought it didn't give a dang about it. I offered this to him and he said, nope, I like the way you did it. I'm not converting back over to down bars, drop bars. I like the way you did it. And they're very dusty. And we're going to have to wipe them off a little. You can't have that dust getting all over the place. Yeah, these are not the right bars. I think the stem would be okay. I think the actual bars themselves will be okay, but it would be coppertone wrap for sure. That's not going to scratch anything, is it? Probably not. Okay, let's put the front wheel on and just take it off the stand real quick and see if the kickstand is doing what it should do. But first, remember how I was saying that these forks, these coppertone forks, do not have the safety washers. These are Schwinn safety washers, okay? They're nice to have. They do kind of save you having some problems with your front wheel coming off. But I think it was 69 and above. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But in the 70s for sure they had these. They don't fit these forks. This is a 65, like we said. They do not fit. You could probably crunch them on, but they ain't going to be doing nothing. There's no clearance in there for them to work. I'll show you how they work though. This fork is from a later bike. I don't know what year, probably 76 or so. And you can see the fork washers have a little clearance there, and it goes in like that. And one goes underneath here, like so. And see, you can't get those out. Your front wheel loosens up because somebody didn't tighten it very well or something happens. But it starts jiggling around and you realize it's time to tighten your front wheel. So these are Schwinn safety forks. It was a nice thing. It was something, probably saved a few lives. Anyway, these are good to have if you can use them. But alas, we cannot use them on forks that don't have the clearance. I've heard of some people, gouging this out with a pea grinder and making it work. But guess what? Guess what you're doing when you gouge out a pair of forks with a pea grinder? You're not doing the right thing. All right, let's put this front wheel on. And here we like to sometimes do the right thing. Okay, we'll throw this front wheel on. And we're just going to see if this thing will stand on its own and be off the stand. And hopefully the internet gods are correct. And it will stand on its own. Of course, this wheel doesn't want to go in because it's a quick release. It's a whole nother bag of worms. great. Yeah, I got the wrong axle in here. We're just going to make it work, though. We're going to pop it by it. There we go. This is wrong, wrong, wrong. Wrong axle. This is not a quick release bike. But we're just going to make it work for a second. Okay, now we're going to make sure that this sits on the ground and the kickstand works. Now, i.e., this is a 27 by 1.125" tire. It's wrong, but the kickstand should be close, and we'll be able to tell if the 355 Schwinn 355 kickstand is the correct one for this year. All right, let's pop it down. Moment of truth. Okay, man, I hope this works. I hope this is the right kickstand. It will work. Yes! We needed a win and we got it. Okay, it's a little off because, and I'll explain it to you, these are 27 by 1.125" tires. I don't have any 1.25" and all this junk. Oh, I do. They're on that bike. And guess what? They're not coming off that bike. Anyway, these are 1.25", and this kickstand works perfect. And so these are 1.125". So we're talking an 1/8 inch difference. Plus there's wear on the end of this kickstand, a little grinding. So really, if this had the right tires, it might be perfect. It's not bad. I'll have to research more. It seems a little off to me because the other tires are just going to make it taller. But it's okay. I think we're going to be all right. I think the 83-55, 57-355 kickstand, which is this same one, I believe this to be correct. All right, so now you guys know. And I got to pick a derailleur. And I'm leaning towards this Schwinn Sprint. It's got rebuildable bearings in here. There is actually bearings inside of there. This one does not. And this is the Sprint. And this action feels pretty good here. And I believe this bike came with Sprint derailleurs. So this one's wrong. I'll have to find a Sprint. Or I'll have to look in the catalog. I'm not sure about that one. But this is correct for this bike. Okay, so let's put it back on and try to find a seat post. Or not, because I don't know if I have a decent one. I got a clamp. I got a seat post clamp. Okay, so there seemed to be quite a bit of interest on this particular bike. So we're going for it. And here we go. There we go. So we're going for it on this bike. Let's put the seat post clamp on. I got plenty of those. Let's find one. We could probably find a nice chrome one in here. Yeah, let's look through here. See if we can find one. Dusty in here. Oh, here's a Schwinn clamp with a rally bolt. That's fabulous. Okay. Ooh, there's someone painted this bolt blue. That's been sprayed silver. Okay. Nice to find like a chrome one or something. You know. We might be stuck with the gunmetal special. Ooh, is that Schwinn? That's a rusty chrome one. I don't know about that. Rust is not your friend. Okay. Well, we might just have to go temporary style. And that's not a bad one. Look at this one. The gunmetal's still on there, unless it's been sprayed. I'm thinking about going with this one just for today until I find something juicy. All right, so I'll show you how to put this on without scratching the paint up. It's pretty easy, actually. This is probably supposed to have an AS bolt on it. I'm not sure. I'll have to research that too. I don't think it does, though. I think they got rid of the AS bolts in '63.